Fantasy Zone. What a fun and adorable little game we got here. Released in arcades in 1986, Sega's Fantasy Zone is a very interesting title in the 2D shooter genre. From its non-linearity to its bright and colorful graphics, this game helped break many of the conventions that 2D shooters carry during that era. Fantasy Zone has you play as Opa Opa, a little winged spaceship off to defeat the evil planet Menon from stealing other planets' currencies and building a huge fortress in the Fantasy Zone. Yeah, this game has some pretty strange lore to it, but at the same time, it sounds so tame and innocent, like a child wrote it or something, which matches the game's aesthetic perfectly. As you're dropped in, you'll quickly realize that this isn't your typical 2D shooter. Rather than being set in a constantly scrolling linear path, you're able to move left and right to freely explore the environment, though I should use the term explore loosely. Your main goal is to destroy all the enemy bases in the level. At the bottom of the screen is a map that shows your position relative to the bases within the level. So yeah, this game has a lot more in common with Defender than most shooters. Once you've defeated all the bases, the end level boss shows up. Oh my god, look at him! He's a little stump! An evil little stump. Anyways, it's pretty wash, rinse, repeat with the rest of the game, but it sure puts up a hell of a fight. For a game as cute and innocent as Fantasy Zone, I found it incredibly challenging. I was only able to get to the third boss before I had enough. There were a number of factors contributing to this though, one being how the screen scrolls and how easy it is to get hit by enemies that you don't see coming when you quickly change directions. To help give you the upper hand in battle, there are shops that spawn at certain moments during gameplay. The shop holds many useful upgrades for Opa Opa, like increased movement speed, better weapons and bombs, and buying 1-ups. Weapons upgrades only last for a few seconds however, and other upgrades will go away when you lose a life. You can collect coins that some enemies drop to spend in the shop, but it becomes more of a risky endeavor when there's swarms of enemies on screen. You can also bring in a friend for some multiplayer, which is always a plus in my book. Fantasy Zone is a fun and quirky little shooter that'll give you a serious challenge. The version I'm playing here on the Sega Saturn is a Sega Ages release that can be had for about $20+. If you ask me though, the best way to play Fantasy Zone is on the Nintendo 3DS through its Sega 3D Classics release on the eShop. And while you're at it, I'd recommend the System 16 remake of Fantasy Zone 2 over this one, as it improves just about everything in the first game. No matter which way you slice it, Fantasy Zone is a must-play for classic shooter fans. Hey, thanks for watching! If you like this kind of stuff, be sure to subscribe to Saturnology for more videos like these, and also check me out on Twitter, Facebook, and Patreon. Thanks!